Hello everyone, welcome to our channel The Navy Guy. We hope everyone is doing well during this lockdown. So today we will start with our next unit, that is engine and its parts. So not taking much of the time, we hope everyone must have watched our previous unit videos on introduction to marine internal combustion engines. A question regarding that unit only. What do you think will be the limitations for mean piston speed of an engine? I repeat, what do you think will be the limitations for mean piston speed of an engine? Put your answers in the comment box below and let's get started. So in this video we'll study about what is bed plate, holding down bolts, frame box and entablature. So before getting started, do hit that subscribe and like button. So let's get started. So let's talk about the bed plate first. What is a bed plate? Material requirements of the bed plate. Material used for manufacturing the bed plate. Construction and maintenance of the bed plate. So what is a bed plate? Bed plate is the foundation on which two-stroke engine is built, or it is the base of the engine which carries other components of engine. The material requirement should be that it should be rigid enough to support the weight of the engine and its components and maintain the alignment of the crankshaft, and at the same time it should be flexible enough to withstand fluctuated forces created during operation of the engine and transmitting them to the ship's hull. It is secured to the engine tank top using holding down bolts and chokes. The material it is made up of cast iron, which absorbs and dampens the vibrations, and at the same time it is used material mild steel plates or castings welded together and are cheaper and lighter. If we talk about the construction, it is made up of longitudinal girders which are two in number, which form the side walls, and a set of transverse I-beams or box girders strengthened with stiffness. Alongside transverse strength girders houses the main bearings. Lower part of the bed plate has flanges for seating on to the hull foundation, and below the bed plate some space is provided for the crankcase sump. If we talk about maintenance, the bed plate should be inspected regularly for evidence of cracking. This can occur in the weld joints joining the transfer girders to the longitudinal and under the bearing pockets. Inspection should be carried out especially after heavy weather or damage has occurred. Causes of cracks can be faulty manufacturing techniques, uneven loading, loosened tie bolts or holding down bolts, or excessive vibrations caused by crankshaft. That's all about bed plate. So let's talk about holding down bolts. What is the need, the functions, how bed plate is mounted, and what is the effect of slack holding down bolts. So let's talk about the need first. The engine must be held firmly in the position with the ship in order to preserve alignment between crankshaft and propeller shaft. Vibration, rolling and pitching will tend to move the engine from its original position. The functions of holding down bolts is to provide a clamping force through friction between bed plate, choke and ship's structure in order to resist the propeller thrust, to provide stiffness to the engine, to position the engine within the ship's structure, to provide good alignment of engine and transmission shafting and hence equal load on all the bearings. If we talk about how bed plate is mounted, it is mounted on chokes and securely bolted to the engine's foundation plate. The bed plate is aligned and individual chokes are used to maintain that alignment. Holding down studs, which are preferred to as bolts because they are cheaper and easy to fit, are used to hold the engine firmly to the tank top. Holding down bolts of modern slow-speed engines are long sleeve type and are hydraulically tightened. These type of bolts have greater elasticity and hence are less prone to cracking. What is the effect of slack holding down bolts? They cause fretting between the bed plate, choke and tank top. Misalignment of bed plate will occur if these bolts are retightened. Stiffness of holding down arrangement is decreased, while vibration of engine and ship structure will increase. Load on other chokes will increase and will also cause fretting in them. The bolts may eventually shear in serious cases, although end chokes are provided to prevent this shear failure. Recurrence of slackness may increase as the tension of bolt has now changed with respect to hole holding down arrangement. Torsional stresses will increase as an effect of fretting and misalignment, and there will be an imbalance of bearing loads. Now let's talk about the frame box or A-frame. Its construction, materials, and something about it. As the name implies, these frames are A in shape to provide the necessary support to cylinder block. They are usually produced as a single unit as this helps in stiffening of the engine. A welded A-frame contributes to 40% of engine's structural stiffness. The material used to manufacture is fabricated steel plates for large bore models and a cast iron unit for smaller types. If we talk about the construction, these carry crosshead guides and support engine entablature and are either machined into A-frames or are separately cast and machined and then bolted to A-frames. In modern engines, the frame box is built as a separate fabricated construction, and then after stress relieving and machining, the mating surfaces is mounted on the bed plate. This has an advantage of saving weight. When the frames are aligned on the bed plates, they are secured together by drilling and using fitted bolts. The frame box is equipped on exhaust side with relief valve and on the camshaft side with a large door for each cylinder, providing access to the crankcase components. That's all about the A-frame. Now let's talk about entablature. Entablature is the name given to cylinder block which incorporates the scavenge air space and cooling water spaces. It forms the housing to take the cylinder liner and is made up of cast iron. The reason for being called the entablature is because on early marine steam engines, the cylinders were arranged above the open crank, held up by steel columns reminiscent of classical Greek and Roman architecture, where a section was called entablature was held up by stone pillars. Despite modern diesel engines have enclosed crankcases and not having the columns anymore, the marine world is archaic in its own language, and the name entablature stuck instead of calling it a block. Now if we talk about the construction of entablature, the castings are either for individual cylinders which after machining on the mating surfaces are bolted together to form the cylinder beam, or they may be cast in multi-cylinder units which are then bolted together. The underside of the cylinder beam is machined and then it is aligned on the A-frames and fastened in position using fitted bolts. So that's all about entablature. So that's all for today. We hope to see you in our next video also. Do like, share and subscribe to our channel The Navy Guy, and if you have any doubts, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you.